Stay with it. Yeehaw! That's it, buckaroo. Ride 'em, cowboy.
Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This time I'm trying something different. I'm going to be talking about my favorite anime villain, and that happens to be Frieza from the Dragon Ball Z series. And my favorite actress who does the part for Frieza has to be Linda Young. Not the one from Dragon Ball Super. I feel like Linda Young suited Frieza perfectly. So, explaining my reasons why I love Frieza as my favorite villain, because not because Linda does the character very well. It's the dialogue. It's really funny, and like he gives you. I don't want to sound like very odd, but he gives me white supremacist vibes. He looks like a racist transgender. I'm not kidding. As a kid, I thought he was a woman. I honestly thought this entire time Frieza was a female. I thought it was because she was very muscular, very fit. At the time, I was very young, and this again, Dragon Ball Z was my first anime, so I wasn't even 10 years old at the time when I first saw this. But the dialogue in Dragon Ball Z was really funny. Frieza constantly calling the Saiyans monkeys, especially when and then later when I started growing up, I started to notice the like reference between like white on black racism, and then the stereotypes that the racists would make towards black people, have being them being monkeys, being too violent, or they shouldn't be able to like defend for themselves and stand up for each other. So in a way, it kind of, I'm not saying it's exactly like Black Lives Matter. It kind of correlates with the black community somehow, and that's also what inspired me to create the Black Saint archetype. And first of all, I don't know. There isn't too many villains that can stand up to Frieza outside of the Dragon Ball series. Trust me on that. I don't know any. Okay, maybe you can include the characters from Dragon Ball Z, or like uh past like past Dragon Ball Z, but you can't tell me there are villains outside of Dragon Ball Z, like outside of Dragon Ball Z and the anime industry that are better than Frieza or more powerful than Frieza. And it's not because of how strong Frieza is. His character serves a purpose in the Dragon Ball series. He played a huge part in Goku's life and Vegeta. He was known as the person who literally exterminated almost every Saiyan throughout the series. And you find out Goku, Nappa, obviously Vegeta, Raditz were the only ones that survived. That weren't, of course, Saiyans have been killed by other people, but the fact that like Frieza was the one that was responsible, he definitely had a huge impact on the Saiyans, for sure, as well as Goku and Vegeta. And the thing is, if they were to make more more Dragon Ball episodes or another series, I feel like Frieza should oh I'm not saying he should be in every season, but I feel like he's gonna be relevant because he's someone that doesn't change the villain, which I kind of respect. He's shown that he's not remorseful. He's never gonna change his ways. He enjoys torturing people. He's a complete deranged sociopath, and some people may look at it's because he's an alien. No, it's because and I say this, he wouldn't, not only would he not do this to humans, not only would he abuse aliens, he'll probably abuse other aliens too. It just, Frieza knows his own strength, and he feels like he can take advantage of whoever he wants. Not based on how somebody looks. So if you think he's only treating people like crap because they're humans, trust me when I say he's gonna do this to every other race, even his own people. And it's also said that like his race. And then again, I don't know if it has something to do with their species as to their breed is why they act a certain way. Like I don't know anybody within Frieza's group or who are basically related to Frieza who are any good. Because and again, it could again some people may say it has to do with their race in general or where they come from, or I honestly feel like it has more to do with his upbringing because because I do know for a fact their race are supposed to be considered the Frieza race, the Frost Demons, but I feel it has to do more than just Frieza being evil. I think it just has to do with how he developed as a person. But overall, still the best film. I mean, nothing can change my. He has me dying. Even ask Yusuke now. I'm laughing with him, and that's why I have no regret. I have no problem posting videos of Frieza and why I partake in like having to like bring up Frieza. It's just he's very interesting. I'm not gonna end. It's just so much that's really interesting about Frieza because like I feel it has to do with white supremacy towards black people. Um, him being very hostile, being very selfish, arrogant, sociopathic person, and not only that, he has a very strong vocabulary. You because it's funny because that's what makes him so funny because he's an alien. He knows words like cowboys, like monkeys, like records, music, television, you name it. So I don't know whether to be impressed. Maybe they have that in different planets, and and that's how he managed to gain a lot of knowledge from a lot of his travels. Because for what I know, Frieza has lived for a very long time, so he's much older than Goku and Frieza, which I can tell obviously if you look at past episodes. So he must have been doing a lot of traveling for him to know a bunch of words and her to know certain items and know certain words and know how they look and how he describes it. It explains he's a very intelligent character. So and the thing is though he likes to toy with his opponents. That's one thing you can say. That's one thing I can say about Frieza. He loves to toy with his opponents. He knows he can kill them anytime. Why? Because he sees them very feeble. Because he wants to benefit by having them become his minion. And that's the whole purpose of Frieza. He doesn't want to outright kill anybody unless he needs to, or unless someone isn't abiding by his rules. And he has a lot of power and structure, so that's why I can't really see any villain outside of Dragon Ball being much more stronger than him. We'd have to see who can actually be able to pair up with Frieza. And again, you can bring up the Dragon Ball Z characters. That's fine. Of course, there's stronger Dragon Ball Z characters than him, or Dragon Ball characters in general, like probably in Super, GT, whatever. But there's no denying that not too many characters can like square up to Frieza from other anime shows. But for who he is, like he's the funniest villain. There's no denying. I can't help when he if I can. It's not because of the way he talks. Anytime he says something funny or like he's being very sarcastic, I can't help but laugh. Cause that's what makes him a likable villain. He can be very cruel, but he can be very funny at the same time because he's enjoying himself. But yet, like honestly, of course, he expects people to enjoy it, but his obviously his opponents and like the companions are watching. They're literally terrified of him, regardless of what he says, whether he's trying to be funny or not. So, but I want to say one last thing in my opinion, Frieza. He should not throughout whether it may be in Dragon Ball Z or any other universe, he should not be alive in my opinion. He definitely deserves to go back to hell where he can't like that's the perfect place for him in order to keep people safe. He's personally a danger to everyone and anybody around. So of course you have to respect lives and stuff, but him being able to exist while he's putting others' lives at risk, that in itself is a problem. And it's just like Vegeta said, because he's proven to be more cruel than the Saiyans, and he tries to justify it by how saying Saiyans are bloodthirsty, they love to kill, but it's very hypocritical for him to say that, because it is confirmed Frieza has actually done more damage than the Saiyans. Yes, the Saiyans can. They have a nature of being very bloodthirsty and violent. They like to find strong opponents, but Frieza, on the other hand, is that he gets very. Well, I understand when he's not the only character, but he doesn't like when someone gives him a challenge and is clearly outmatching him. So that's why he hates Goku and Vegeta as well, because they're always one step ahead of him. Even if he reaches new lengths, they're always one step ahead, and they tend to either get a new transformation, they're getting more transformations, or they just simply won based on plot armor, or it's decided who's supposed to win. And another thing was Super. I personally did not. The whole reason behind Frieza killing the Saiyans, I didn't think it made sense that it was Beerus that gave the order, but it was mainly in fact that, especially in the Dragon Ball series, the Dragon Ball Z series, it's confirmed that Frieza was in fear of the Saiyans being able to overthrow him if they work together and grow their power level even further. At the time, it wasn't mentioned whether they become Super Saiyan or what a Super Saiyan would look like, but he had a feeling, not only because they could turn into Azarus, but Saiyans get strong very rapidly, and he did not want to question it, but he had a feeling, and he felt that it was a time for him and his reinforcements to take care of the matter. So, which is why he was planning to exterminate them. So that makes sense, because the proof like Vegeta and Goku being able to reach Super Saiyan and able to go past their limits. Frieza was right about what he was talking about, so he felt that he needed to get the job done, and then once he couldn't accomplish in time, Goku and Vegeta were able to get the upper hand on him. So, and the whole order by Lord Beerus was to me didn't really add up, because they were just trying to come up with even more reasons, but that in itself didn't add up to what Frieza's actual intentions were. Because yeah, of course Lord Beerus, it would have made sense maybe they did in the very beginning. Of course, Lord Beerus has power over Frieza. He's the god destruction. But Frieza would definitely have been more willing to kill the Saiyans, just to make sure that he can claim his place in the universe, so that nobody can be able to oppose him. But I feel like I said enough, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.
A pity, really. Such an uneventful ending, and for such a great fighter.
Hey, what have you done to him? Where is he?
Where is who?
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh yes, I seem to recall him melting in the river of lava. How would you like to join him? I'm making a stew down there, and I wouldn't mind adding a Namek for seasoning. Yes, that's just what it needs. Perfect. Consider it done. Why do you loathe what I've done so much? Saiyans are just as ruthless as I am. They were killers, all of them. And you have the gall to condemn what I've done? You and your bloodthirsty race.
They paid for their mistakes!
Is that why they died? I thought it was because I killed them.
You're just a beast with no conscience!
So I'm a beast, huh? Oh, and what about you, Mr. Super Saiyan? Aren't you just like me? So the jury's still out on that one. Let's just give it a little more time.